Alright, so this is just one of those movies where you just can't help but roll your eyes. Oh, I think another one's coming on now. You're gonna want to hear this one. So The Long Shot stars Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron. Seth Rogen plays a Seth Rogen-y, opinionated journalist who works for a lower-level news outlet. Charlize Theron is the Secretary of State who's running for president. They meet and she hires him as a writer, and wouldn't you know it, they fall in love. Now, I said in one of my previous videos, I think they're going to be kind of like an odd couple relationship, and they did kind of portray that in the trailers. But this is the problem with the film. It makes rules and it sets Charlize Theron's character up as a hardworking, disciplined person. And then halfway through the movie, her character just completely changes. But it doesn't show any growth or progression in her character. One minute she's hardworking, smart, disciplined, and then the next minute she's just a better looking Seth Rogen. Okay, I'm going to throw out an analogy, because you guys will learn that I love my analogies. But imagine if somebody brought out a bunch of puzzles, got out a couple of pieces of the puzzle from each of the puzzles, and then said, here, I want you to make a complete puzzle. If the pieces don't fit, and they're from different puzzles, it's not going to make a good picture. And in this case, it's not going to make a good movie. And they didn't know what kind of movie they wanted. But it's a real shame because I like Seth Rogen's movies. And he produced it with Evan Goldberg, who did movies like Pineapple Express, Superbad. Most of Seth Rogen's best movies was them pairing up. And I know he isn't the best actor and he generally just plays Seth Rogen, but when they put the character in interesting situations and interesting stories, it can tend to play off really well. And I'm obviously a huge fan of Charlize Theron. She's a much better actor, and she kicked ass in Atomic Blonde. And if you haven't seen Atomic Blonde, definitely go check it out. And maybe a lot of the problems wouldn't be an issue if they just made it a classic romantic comedy, but because Charlize Theron's character was running for the presidency, it put them in a lot of boxes and constraints, which I felt forced them to disregard how they set up the character in the first place. Because I think if they played her as a CEO of a big company, or looking for a big pay rise or something like that, still a very important person, and kept the character true, I think it would have opened up a lot more opportunities for them. Speaking of which, all the other characters in the movie were an absolute joke. They had Bob Odenkirk, who you might remember from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, but what was weird was he was the President of the United States, and before he was the President of the United States, he played the President of the United States on a TV show. So it's Bob Odenkirk playing the President of the United States, who before he was the President of the United States, played the President of the United States on TV, which just in itself is a ridiculous premise. Who literally in every scene is either watching himself playing the president on TV or practicing lines as the president. Okay, what? Because they had a couple of running jokes in the film about a woman running for president, which apparently is still a ridiculous thing. But I don't want to open that can of worms. This isn't a political channel. But from the beginning of the film, they're constantly pointing out that she's a woman running for president and how crazy that is when you're seeing Bob Odenkirk's president going, no, I think she would make 1,000,000 times better president. I think anybody would make a better president than he would. Because there were some good parts in the film. Okay, so now let's sprinkle in a bit of positivity in this movie review, because I'm starting to be a bit George Costanza-y. And shut up all my friends before you say anything in the comments.
You know, we're living in a society!
And there was probably about 3 or 4 jokes where I was genuinely pulling a bit of a Seth Rogen laugh. It's where you're laughing, but you're not laughing hysterically. And just for frame of reference, I went on a Thursday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, not really prime time. And it was just myself in the back row, and then 3 other couples that had an average overall age of about 60. And I'm just taking a guess that because of the political aspect and having Charlize Theron in it, who is known to do some nice dramas and lovely movies more for, you know, the older demographic, because I doubt they were really coming for Seth Rogen. Because I weirdly didn't see them in the screening of Pineapple Express or Superbad, but in some of the scenes, Seth Rogen was pulling his Seth Rogen stuff along what you'd see in a Superbad or something like that. And because it was such a quiet cinema, I kept hearing genuine shock from all of the older ladies. But when the funniest parts of the film don't come from the film, you know you get a bit of a problem there, right? There's also this scene in the movie where something happens and I go, oh, wow, that was a bit of a turn of events. Maybe they're going to take a bit of inspiration from Charlize Theron when she was in Atomic Blonde. But it lasted for about 60 seconds and then changed pace and changed to a completely different movie. And that's one of my points, is it felt like it was a bunch of different styles and genres of movies. And a lot of the things literally went nowhere. And lastly, when I was watching the film, there was this character that kept popping up and I kept going, hey, I think I know that guy from somewhere. And then he'd pop up again and, nah, where have I seen that guy from? And then near the end of the movie, I finally worked out who it was, and it was more of a, aha, that's who he is. Damn, that's a shame. Because this actor's a great actor, as most of the other cast members are. So overall, the quality of the film was probably about a 5. It was meh. alright, but it had a hell of a lot of problems. As for my enjoyment of the film, I'd probably go about a 6. And that's mainly because I like Seth Rogen, Charlize Theron's very captivating on film, and any movie that involves the president, I find quite fascinating because I love the intricacies of presidential life, the chaotic schedule, and I don't know if this is a real thing, but how all the polls go, oh, they like you because of the way you wave your hand, or they like you because you're a family person, or this or that, and how they're constantly trying to please as many people as they can. But at the end of the day, you can't please everyone. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Sorry this was a bad review and it was a bit of a rant. In a perfect world, every movie I saw would be amazing and I'd be able to give great positive reviews. But I'm gonna be completely honest, and although this movie had a lot of things going for it, it just really didn't cut up to the plate. Cut up to the plate? Step up to the plate. Now I'm going to see Top End Wedding tomorrow, which is an Australian film, and there's so many great films coming out this month. I'm gonna link down below my other video that I uploaded, a look forward, which breaks down all the movies that are coming out next month, which I do monthly, by the way. And there's so many great movies coming out, and if in doubt, just go see Avengers Endgame again. Make sure you leave a like if you liked the video, and comment below your thoughts if you did see the movie, and what you thought about it. Let's start an open discussion down below. And if you're liking the content that you've seen, make sure you give that old subscribe button a whoosh, and turn on notifications to keep you up to date on all your movies and entertainment needs. Join the family. So thanks again guys for watching, and as always, work hard and be lucky.